Hello friends and welcome. When you're crafting, do you end up with a lot of paper scraps and strips that you don't really know what to do with? Today I want to share with you several ideas for how to use these strips and scraps on your cards and make beautiful results. I have 7 different ideas and tons of card ideas I want to share with you today. And we're going to start with idea number 1 for how to use these strips, which is to punch the ends and create decorative strips for your cards, like decorative accents. So this piece in the background is one. We have several of these pick-a-punches now that work with 1-inch strips, 3/4 of an inch strips, and 1/2 inch strips, and I absolutely love them. I have used this punch for both of these cards. So this one I just used as an accent in the background. This one I used for a tag here to stamp my sentiment on. Idea number 2 for using your strips and scraps is to stamp something, stamp a greeting on them, and then cut it out. So all of my other ideas have to do with actually using the strips as strips, but these, they're a great way to use up some of those scraps to stamp on them and then cut them out and use that as a fun little accent for your cards. Now, if you want information on these card projects, I have video tutorials on most of them. If you click on the description in the link in the video description below, you can go to my website and find links to lots and lots of video tutorials. So definitely take a look at that if you want more information on any of these cards. Idea number 3 is background accents. So, one strip here or there. This one, I just put one strip of that beautiful, amazing specialty paper and then put my focal point over top. On these, I used a larger piece of designer paper and then one little strip, just kind of to set it off. One little strip of specialty paper or designer paper can really do a lot for a project. Idea number 4 is to make complete backgrounds with these strips. And these are some of my favorites. This idea and the next one, I think, are my favorites. They're like the most fun with the prettiest results. Here's one I shared a while back where I used a punch to punch through those designer papers. I laid them together to create that background. Here's one, just a few of those small strips. That's a very simple card to make. I did share a tutorial a while back on making quilt cards with scraps. And a lot of these, you can start with strips. You can start with 1-inch strips of paper, 1/2 inch strips of paper. It depends on how detailed you want these to be. But I love this tutorial, and you can definitely do this with strips. I started with my, I believe, 1-inch strips on these and cut those down into smaller pieces. And then these right here, these 2 are some of my favorites. I love to create backgrounds just with a whole bunch of strips put together. And you can create these in all sorts of designs. So this one, I just laid them side by side and made them diagonal but straight. This is more of like a herringbone design. But I love to use these strips. I will mention right now, if you're watching this here in February, these both come from free paper packs available during Celebration, or if you spend $50 with Stampin' Up, you get to choose a free item. The Sunshine and Rainbows paper pack is one of the options. Simply Marvelous is one of the options. We have 1 or 2 more paper packs. We also have some beautiful stamps you can choose from as well. Idea number 5 for using your strips is to decorate the inside of a card. And this is one of my favorites, like I said, because it's just creates the prettiest result. So everybody loves a beautiful card front. What I love even more is a beautiful card inside. So just take one of those little strips and add it to the inside. Or here's another example of a fun fold I shared not too long ago. This beautiful tulip set. You open up these flaps and here's just one little strip that helps that inside coordinate with the front of the card. Idea number 6 is to create punches and die cuts from those strips. So a lot of times, I use my little like 1-inch strips with my punches, especially this double oval punch I use a lot, and it works perfectly with the little 1-inch strips to be able to punch these out. You can create die cuts. Here's another beautiful little die cut. Use those strips up when you're doing these. Don't ruin your nice big pieces of paper. And then here's a fun one I created with our basic borders die set. I shared a big video a while back on this, on lots and lots of ways to use this die set. But when you create strips like this one, you can do that with some of your scraps. You could do this with all different colors, you know, whatever strips you have left, and mix and match, and it would be really cute that way. And last but not least is my 7th idea, to create easy basic strips, easy basic tags for your cards. And I have tons, I have quite a few cards I'm going to go through here really quickly, just to give you lots of ideas and show you how you can use these strips on lots of cards. Love this hippo set. Here I just used one as is. I just snipped it. Here I used one of those punches on the ends. This is a beautiful set. I had so much fun with these tutorials a while back, but I used just tiny little strips for the greeting. Sometimes a little tiny greeting can have as big of an effect as really large ones. Here is another one, just a real small strip. This one's longer. Look at that beautiful shell set that I made that with. Here are a few. You can angle the ends. You can make a little tag and trim a little V out. Here are some fun slimline cards I shared not too long ago. Both of those just have a really basic greeting on a 1/2-inch strip piece of extra cardstock I had lying around. So many of these. I will not mention all of these in particular, but I know you love card ideas, so I am just going to share them. Like I said, if you want more information, click to go to my website, and as many of them as I can, I will link you straight to the tutorials for these. Here was a fun scrap paper card. These are a little bit bigger scraps, but another fun idea for how to use those scraps. Love this penny slider card. We'll see if my penguins are going to cooperate right now. Fun, fun, fun project tutorial here with just that simple little tag. And these, last but not least, they're very simple card ideas, but with that greeting set, I was able to create really simple tags that I added quickly and easily, and they just have a really nice, bold effect on these cards. So I hope this gives you some great ideas for using your strips and scraps on your paper. While you're here, I would love for you to subscribe. I share lots of tips and tricks and techniques and project tutorials. So you can get links to some of the products I use in the video description below. There's a lot of cards here, so I'm not linking to all of them. But if you find the specific links for each tutorial, then you'll be able to find those exact links. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.